Now, this whole Bill Cosby thing is crazy to me because do you think that he's guilty?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because one thing I will say is that it's funny when people used to come out of the woodwork, you almost thought that maybe they wanted money. I'm sure you felt that over the years when you see people come out of the woodwork. I meaning like after all these years, like it's kind of seems fishy. But with that many people, I do believe that somebody's telling the truth.
What I think this show people is first of all, these allegations aren't new, right? There were people that accused him of things like decades ago, and the police didn't press charges. One woman went and did a police report. The police didn't press charges. Even with Andrea Constant, back in 2005, that's when they had the deposition. That's where the information came out, where he admitted to buying Quaaludes to give to women that he wanted to have sex with. He said that. You know, so people are acting like this is new. These are things that have been going on for quite some time. These are not like new allegations, new people accusing him. Even like Janice Dickinson in her book, she wrote about Bill Cosby and how he, you know, attacked her. And she wrote about it in her book, and they made her take it out of her book. And this was a long time ago. So Beverly Johnson, you know, she did her story after all this came out. She didn't say that he raped her, but she did say that he drugged her and she managed to get away. And so I think that the fact that people are like, he was trying to buy NBC, or truthfully, the reason why I didn't ever doubt it is because my mom knew somebody that never came forward with anything. She was a lawyer, and she was like, you know, we used to call Bill, and this is when I was really young, before like I knew anything that was going on. She was like, we used to call him Mr. Dope and Grope because he would drug women and then, you know, assault them. I don't even think she said assault. But anyway, she told me this story about somebody that she knew, and it was never a public story. And so I've always had it in my head that he does things like this. So that's why when all this started happening, a lot of people doubted it. But in my head, it was always like, oh, there's something, you know, going on here. Because it's something I heard about from when I was young.
Sure, sure. You know, I think one thing that's hard for certain people, particularly even me, it's like Bill Cosby was a perfect TV dad.
Right.
And, you know, back in the day, yeah, you know, I know.
Right.
I know. But at the same time, so was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, I learned a lot of parenting from like that, from, you know, Uncle Phil, you know what I mean? And even like for me, just being like a you know, separated dad to a daughter, like even like Who's the Boss was big for me back in the day. I mean, I don't watch TV anymore, but these things growing up, you know, like I learned a lot about parenting, and I was like, oh shit, that'd be cool if I used that type of parenting technique
and
when I was older.
You still can.
But it's like, but no, you're right. But I'm saying it's like, I think some people are like, damn, this is not the guy that, you know, but again, it's TV.
And then, you know, what I think is interesting is that people also are like, oh, all these decades. Well, yeah. Like, imagine, you see how these women are being vilified now for things that happened before, that they finally been like, I'm going to come forward and tell my story. Imagine they said that back then when he was a powerful man that he was. What happened to them? There were a lot of people who said that their careers were never able to flourish because of that. They were scared. Like, these are women, some of them in the beginnings of their career trying to get on. And same thing happened with Harvey Weinstein. You know, a lot of those women were like, I can't say anything about it. It's Harvey Weinstein. My career will be over.
So is he next?
I mean, he already has been charged, or he has in New York. Remember, he had to turn himself in.
Yeah, that's right.
So hopefully... You know, hopefully. But I do think for women, a lot of times in business, we feel like something happens to us, we have to be quiet about it because we don't want to lose our potential career path. And people
or get blocked.
Yeah, and people will block that from happening. So that's a lot of what it is. And then you also are feeling like, even you look at what's happening with Kavanaugh, she's like, I didn't want to come out because I knew people would just crucify me.
Sure.
And it's hard. Like, you don't want to, I think nobody wants to ever have to come forward and say, this powerful person did this to me, because so many people aren't going to believe you. People are going to question your own past, and you're really putting yourself out there in a way that's not, you know, perceived as like, I just did something positive. It's more like people aren't going to believe you, and you can see that now. Like, people are still not believing.
Sure, that he did something.
These women.